Paris, Munich, everybody talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Sing in the subway, shuffle with a shoe shine. Mix me a Molotov. I'm on the headline. Wanna be a gunslinger, don't be a rock singer. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which way you wanna go? Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop, right in the tree. Pop, pop, shoo-wop, me, 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 me. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop, right in the tree. Pop, pop, shoo-wop, you know what I mean. Hit it. Now you know what I'm saying. Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. All around the world, wherever you are, dance to the street. Anything you like, do it in your car. In the middle of the night. Dance in the supermarket. Dig it in the fast lane. Listen to the countdown. They're playing our song again. I can't get jumping jack, I wanna hold get back. Moonlight music, knick knack, patty whack. Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop, it's all around you. Pop, pop, shoo-wop, I wanna surround you. Shooby-dooby-doo-wop, it's all around you. Pop, pop, shoo-wop, hit it. New York, London, Paris, Munich, everybody talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music. Listen. Talk about pop, pop music. Talk about pop, pop music. The fever.
Okay, so StreamYard's fucking with me. Okay. So my subscription is up next month, probably, I think it's the 6th. So I'm canceling it. I'm not going to renew. There was that option where they sent me a notice, if you're going to be renewed automatically. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Hey, Matt Lingo. Man, where the hell you been? Jeez. So, I haven't been really asking around as far as what's a good replacement for StreamYard. I know there are some, and I'm willing to, pay the price. So, StreamYard's kind of done me shitty. I play music, and I can't hear the music when it's played, and that's part of what I like to do, just like you guys see on everybody else's, And I just want to try something different. I'm not really happy with StreamYard. I mean, it's got some cool functions and stuff and whatnot, but I need to change it up. We need something different. Hell, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Just like everything else in fucking life. Shit. You got to buy something to test it out, right? It's kind of like Obamacare. Let's pass it to see what's in it. Just buy StreamYard Elements or whatever the fuck it is. Buy it and try it out. So if anybody uses anything else or anybody knows of anything, shit, let me know. Let me know what's good out there. As far as I know, there's only 2, and I can't remember the name of the other. If there's like another third party or so on, shit, let me know about it. Well, I hope everybody's doing good this Sunday. I've been in and out of Marissa's. She did an all-nighter, all-dayer, almost 24 hours, and it was fun. There was some funny times, and you know, sometimes they're laid back and stuff. But man, I tell you, there's a topic that we got onto, and Ready Red, and this guy named Ty. What's his the Ty Fury or something like that? People like Restream. Okay, cool. Hey Pat, how you doing? But yeah, man, I hadn't seen Matt Lingo in a long time. Shit. Um, Nothing fucks. What's up, man? Shit. Glad you guys are here. But we got on a topic over there at Marissa's, and I can't get a word in edgewise. I can't talk. I should have said, hey, Ready Red, come over here to my chat when we're done, or the Thai Fury guy, who's a black guy. I don't know why he's got Thai on there, but he's a black guy. Maybe he lives in Thailand or something. I don't. Well, he actually lives in Sacramento, so he says, but I don't know where the Thai thing comes in. It's not really my business, but I was just kind of wondering. But yeah, we got on this topic about Carmelo Anthony. Is anybody familiar with the Carmelo Anthony situation? I've been following it since day one. Day one. Okay. The day that it happened, I was like, oh boy, this is going to become a racial thing. And that's exactly what it became. So these other two guys are black individuals, and I respect them very much. And we had our disagreements. We didn't fight or anything. We just, exchanged thoughts and opinions. And we really didn't get to finish up because Swarton was in there. I like Swarton. I think he's a hardworking guy. I think he's got a little bit of baggage. He's got some baggage. But he was in there. He kept interrupting, and then everybody stopped. Me, Ready Red, and the Thai guy, Fury guy. We just shut up and let him talk, and he was talking to Alexis, and then different topics. So it kind of died down. Nobody wanted to talk about it. But either way, I would like to finish that conversation with those two. I don't know if they are subscribed to me, but if not, hey, we can talk about it another time. But other than that, it's just here in Texas, it's a really big thing with this Carmelo Anthony deal. And it was shit. Not even a week ago, there was 3 ladies that jumped another girl, and they said that free Carmelo Anthony, and we're going to find the smallest white girl and beat her ass, meaning that Carmelo Anthony was smaller than Austin Metcalf, and Carmelo Anthony was rightfully defending himself. Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest, hit him bullseye in the heart, and killed him right there on the spot. And from what I can tell, it's the lower black community, lower class black community that's all upset about this. You go from middle class and up, black middle class and up, they're like, no, he was in the wrong. He should have never done it. You don't you don't do that to somebody. They see it. But the problem is, it goes even further than that because it's gone nationwide, and it can become a racial problem, which it really already has. But hopefully, thank God there hadn't been any looting or any kind of, shit like there was in the riots with, shit, I can't remember the guy. He got beat up by the cops back in '93. Shit, I can't remember that guy's name. But, thank goodness it hadn't become to that, and rightfully so, because Carmelo Anthony did get put in jail. Justice was served. Some say it was served correctly. Another community says, he was defending himself, and he was not defending himself. Well, no, it was way before George Floyd, Pat. It caused the LA riots and all that. Oh, gosh, what was that guy's name? He's the one that came up with the cliche, why can't we all just get along? It was that deal where the cops beat the black guy up and the cops got off scot free. So, yes, Rodney King. That's it. Thank you. So, I'm glad it didn't turn out to a thing like Rodney King. The reason why I believe it didn't is because everybody knew that justice was served, but the lower class black people want to be recognized, and they want to be treated as equal, as they call equal and stuff, And I would too. Which brings on a different subject. We're getting to such a bad area with the lower class black people. They're just causing destruction. Hey, Erica, how you doing, sweet? Good to see you, huh? And it's getting worse. And I blame rap music, okay, in Hollywood. That's me, okay? Now, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you exactly where it is, where the problem is. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to hide. I'm going to I'm going to voice my opinion exactly where the problem is. And that's where it is amongst black young adults, lower class black young adults. Okay. So I'm sure you guys seen on TV the street takeovers and stuff and the beach takeovers and all this stuff. Well, apparently, after listening to a black individual who is very familiar with this Carmelo Anthony case, he says that with the gangs and these younger generation black kids, they've got it in their head that if you touch me, you do so much as touch me, I can defend myself. But when they say defend themselves, they mean murder. Okay? They don't mean just beat your ass up. Like it's okay for me. If you push me, it's okay for me to kill you, shoot you, or stab you, whatever. That's the way today's society's going. Why are these teen takeovers in the urban cities going on? Why are they running around on their motorcycles and stolen four-wheelers and everything, running crazy and stuff? Why is all this happening? Is it because they want attention? Is there a reason why they want attention? I don't know. But stuff's getting out of control. Now, I told you guys as soon as I got off the Carnival cruise, okay, exactly what had happened. And that Carnival cruise I had a good time on there. I really did. But there was a lot of events that happened that was unnecessary. You got two people caught fucking in an elevator and it has glass doors on it. They were fucking on the way down and got caught, okay? And didn't give a fuck. I'm sorry, but that's just, there's something wrong with this picture. Now, I wish Ready Red or the Ty Fury would come up here and we can talk about this and make it open and let's figure this shit out. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. The way the life is going now with the young people is not good. And it's getting worse. And if we don't set examples or whatever, it's just going to keep fucking going. What is this? Mike says, Obama studied how to talk down to poor, enfranchised black community, and northern divide, plantation mentality. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Talking about what LBJ said that we're going to make the you know black people. He said use different words, but black people vote for us for the rest of eternity or for the next 200 years or whatever he said. And they call that the black plant, or they call it the Democrat plantation. So there you go. Pat says, I don't see how they can see the way that way. It's a lack of respect for life. Well, Pat, the truthful honesty is that they know what's wrong, but they don't. It's psychology. They want to convince everybody that I am suppressed and we should be able to do what we do because we have been suppressed and mistreated for so long. We got to get over that shit. This is 2026. It's just gone. I mean, we should be in a different era. But like I said, I blame Hollywood. I do blame the media, music. Rap music's just unbelievable nowadays. I mean, it's just how they just absorb that shit and just take it real life. I'm not going to let any kind of movie or, Grand Theft Auto shit control my fucking life. Even when I was a kid, I wouldn't let that shit happen. Let's see here. Jay Witt. Yes, there's a commercial here, and I'm gonna see if I can bring this up. But as time goes on, it's just, I mean, this is just unbelievable how things are so fucked up. Let's see. Jay Witt podcast. Y'all bear with me. He was on Megyn Kelly, and it was a really good interview. Let me see if I can find it. It's only let me go so far here. Shit, let me look up Megyn Kelly. Fuck. Okay, this is it here. I'll see if I can stream this real quick. This will probably get me banned from YouTube, but we'll see. I don't know. See if we can start this up.
Are reporting at least 2 other arrests as well in this case. Unbelievable. So this, we don't have any idea what the race of the perpetrators is, though I'm going to assume it's not necessarily white if they were looking to target, quote, the smallest white girl they could find. But this is in retaliation. The report is that this is in retaliation for the Carmelo Anthony conviction. This is insane. Carmelo Anthony attack.
Okay, she's talking about what I told you guys earlier. There's 3 girls that jumped a girl, 3 black girls jumped a white girl in retaliation. Okay, that's what this is about. But anyways, we'll let it play.
And stabbed a young man to death. He happened to be black, and the decedent is white. And this wasn't a race case, despite the fact that Carmelo Anthony's family spokesperson tried to make it one. And now this small group of people, although it's growing, like the intellectual class, so-called, is jumping on board of this. Oh, now we have a picture of the perpetrator. Yeah, she does happen to be black. She's there with some crazy hair, blonde tips and dark roots, and I guess was allegedly part of this whole thing, now being held on $20,000 bond. So they're turning this into a race crime. Like, what wasn't a race crime is turning into a race crime because there's a collection of people extremely angry about the fact that justice applied to Carmelo Anthony the same as it would to any other person who stabbed another boy in the heart with no reason. Here to join us on this case and more is our friend Jason Whitlock. He is the host of Fearless with Jason Whitlock. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe to this show on YouTube and follow me on Insta, Facebook, and X. When you sign your insurance agency, for some brokers, that is the finish. Was white. It was Austin Metcalf who was the victim here.
The world is upside down, Megan, and we sit here and we're baffled. Like, how did we get here? And it's been a long process, and it takes a lot to understand what is transpiring. But what, Megan? Do you remember the West Memphis 3 case? West Memphis, Arkansas.
Yes.
Yeah, that
HBO
was a bad
did 3 documentaries. 3 white kids, teenagers, murdered 3 8-year-old boys. And these were all white kids. Damian Eccles, 18, 19 years old, Jason Baldwin, and a Jesse Miss Kelly. They did the murders. And the prosecution argued that this was a satanic child sacrifice case. That's what they argued in court, and the jury agreed and convicted these guys. That gave Damian Eccles a life sentence. HBO jumped in, and people like Johnny Depp and Eddie Vedder and other celebrities jumped in and said, no, this is satanic panic, and this little small town in Arkansas has too many Jesus concerns, and these are just kids and misconstrued, and they didn't actually do it. And they, for 18 years,
I'm gonna pause it for a second so I don't get canceled. But yes, that was a very bad deal, and they should have gotten life in prison, if not death. They should have been hung from a rope. Okay, you don't do that to people. So, okay, since I paused it, I'm gonna let it keep going here. Let's go.
Media and HBO put out 3 different documentaries trying to argue that these kids were innocent, and eventually they got an Alford plea, and they became celebrities and heroes, and they got sprung from prison. They did the crime, and the argument was like heavy metal music and reading Stephen King books had influenced these kids into this satanic ritual child sacrifice deal. And Megan, I believe that the same thing is going on with hip hop music and hip hop culture.
Exactly.
It has the same influence over young black kids, and it has overtaken black culture.
Yes.
And so hip hop culture believes that you touch this kid, you put your hands on me, I have a right to kill you or assault you with a weapon of some sort. And they want the rest of American society to bow to their standards. In hip hop, any sort of disrespect can be met with violence. This is why you see so many videos of black people say, don't you put your hands on me? You put your hands on me. Don't you? And see what happens if you put your hands on me. There's a mindset that has been given to black culture and black people that's incompatible with Christian American culture and Christian American standards. And that's how so many people are running around defending Carmelo, because they've been brainwashed. You put your hands on him. You pushed him. And in our culture, hip hop culture, we can be violent and kill you. And that's how they've come up with the self-defense case. And they've got idiots like Dominique Alexander that represented the family, the new Al Sharpton. He's a convicted felon. He comes from this hip hop
he's a baby
prison,
beater.
prison hip hop culture, and he's out promoting this. And Megan, you remember when we saw the black kid out in front, the black man out in front of the courthouse dancing and jumping up and down in front of the white guy, and it just looks crazy. But we're gonna have to accept, like, hey, there is a culture that has gone absolutely nuts and has been influenced by this prison hip hop and just, quite frankly, this African. Because a lot of this, and I'm telling you, it's hard to understand, but I just had a pastor.
I got to pause this so I don't get slammed for it. With that said, Carmelo Anthony had the Black Panthers at the courthouse, okay? A girl here on YouTube who I personally talked to in chat, we exchanged words. Her name is Nick at Night. And she was a pro Carmelo Anthony investigative journalist, okay? She mostly does black investigative journalism. And her and I didn't agree on any of this shit. So, but yeah, she had the Black Panthers go up to the courthouse, and that's what he was talking about. So let's keep going here.
Named G. Craig Lewis on my show, and he's been talking about this for 30 years, that black people, American black people, their obsession with Africa and connecting with African cultures, and from the change in their hairstyle to the changing of just their customs and wanting to bring that African culture to America. Well, we have to be honest about Africa and African culture and how violent and how tribal it is. And so we're looking at an American culture that's being influenced by African tribalism, satanic religious cults. Hip hop is right in line with that. If you look at the roots of hip hop and what they brought and what they preached, it's a lot to unpack and understand, but it's very important that we understand what we're dealing with, so that when we stand against it, no one can call us racist or coons or sellouts. It's just like, hey man, we don't want that African culture crap here in America. We don't want religions or beliefs that say, if you touch me, I can kill you. We got to reject that. And I know you've been dealing with the slings and arrows, as have I, but we have to be even more resolved and resolute to, like, hey, man, this just can't stand. Everybody's at risk here. I don't want to live in a society where people can interpret what I say as disrespect and then get all up in my face and try to bait me to touch them or have conflict with them, and then they get to kill me and paint me as the bad guy.
You're invited to join.
Here in Texas, you can, if somebody touches you, you cannot use force with a knife or a gun. You can't do that. And that's one of the things that they're trying to use as self-defense. He touched me. No, that doesn't work in the court of law. It doesn't work. So let me see if I can.
Phoenix Energy's next webinar, where you can drill deeper into our bond offerings. We currently offer 2 investment opportunities: a private placement bond offering for accredited investors with target.
Now we can skip it.
Right. Exactly right. This is, and now, like, to see it morph into retaliatory attacks, it's like, wait a minute. If we're just going purely by race here, a black person attacked and killed a white person. If there should be retaliation, it would be the other way around. How are now more black people attacking a white girl as justice for this case? And it's because Carmelo was convicted and sentenced to prison. That we're getting more details now as we speak on the other two arrested. We have their mugshots too. It appears to be a group of Black women who attacked a white woman. Dejae Brown and Alana Mumphrey are the names of the other two. We're showing their pictures here. They've voluntarily surrendered now to law enforcement, according to Ladarian Brown, Longview police spokesperson. Each faces a charge of assault causing bodily injury. Both were booked into jail.
Okay, for those of you who just came in, these three girls of the aftermath jumped a white girl because of the verdict with the Carmelo Anthony case. Okay, and they beat her up. Let's see if we can get this going.
And released on $20,000 bonds, according to online jail records. Again, the victim is Sammy Lee, who describes herself as new to Longview, Texas. She posted on Facebook on June 21st that she was assaulted at Whiskey J's, a bar, by three, quote, random women who yelled, "Free Carmelo." Lee said she had not interacted with those women in any way before the assault. Let's see, and now, as I mentioned, the Longview police are in communication with the FBI, Jason, regarding the case. And why? Because online conversations concerning retaliation, division, and attacks are increasing. So there's a group of people. This is sort of the Jasmine Crockett street version, only actual street, not the fake street that Jasmine pretends she has in her background, who are looking to exact revenge on random white people, reportedly. I mean, they're going to have to check into this woman's story. We don't know for sure whether that's what they said, and we'll see what their defenses are. But if this is true, this is deeply disturbing. This woman's injuries are no joke either.
Listen, and I'm not trying to be provocative, and look, it is what it is. Black people have been convinced that we're victims of white supremacy. We're not victims of our own choices. We don't control our destiny through the music, through our education system, through everything the left has done, the identity politics and all that. You're a victim, and you have a right to be violent towards the people that you believe are your oppressors. And at some point, like America did before the Civil War, during the Civil War, during Jim Crow, America had a conversation with itself. Say, hey, man, white people have a racism problem that has to be addressed head on. We now need to say Black people.
Okay, I got to pause it for obvious reasons. But yes, they're trying to keep everything spinning to benefit them. As long as they keep racism going, then they get what they want. That's the bottom line.
Have a racism problem, and they're practicing a form of religion that is destroying them and now looking to destroy the rest of America. We have to be that direct and that honest. I get why most people are afraid. Corporate America doesn't want you to say that, and it could put you out of a leadership position or get you targeted over social media. But if we don't have a real honest conversation about what's going on with the Black church and how it's lost course and has gone into racial victimhood. And again, as a Christian, or those of us that just have Christian values within us, we don't believe in victimhood. America is the land of opportunity. It's not the land of oppression. People from around the world and people of all colors aren't trying to get into America because it's the land of oppression. It's the land of opportunity. And there's a documented history of white Christians fighting for the freedom of Black people and Black Americans.
They're not, Dale.
Giving money to Africa and all this other stuff. White people are not perfect. They're just as flawed as everybody else. But this rap that they're out to destroy Black people and Black Americans, it's a lie. And there's all kinds of evidence that it's a lie. And white people, what they've done is said, help me, you adopt this Christian culture and we're good. We don't care what color you are. That is the true story of America. And Black people seem to be saying, you know, we don't share those values. Everything needs to be based on skin color. And you know, we're going to be tribal based on skin color while being tribal like Africans over in Africa that war and destroy Black people and white people. And so we get the worst of all of it. You know, Black on Black crime is out of control. Now Black on white crime and just the smearing of America and white people, it's all out of control. You know, what we're experiencing here is no different than what's going on in South Africa. White people are being targeted by Black people out of racial animus, and everybody has to sit around and be quiet and pretend like it's not happening. I'm not going to pretend anymore, and we can't. I mean, we're taking it all the way back.
Neither am I. I'm not going to sugarcoat all this shit. That's the reason why I brought it up. You know, in Marissa's chat, it was brought up. I didn't even bring it up. I came up on panel over there and given a different perspective. And, you know, you get up there with a bunch of liberals and, you know, hey, you know, you're going to have fun. Anyways, let's keep going.
Back to the Carmelo Anthony case. A 17-year-old boy was stabbed in the heart for pushing a kid at a track meet. We pushed and shoved all the time when I was a kid. That's what kids do. They don't stab each other in the heart. And a guy has stabbed and killed a 17-year-old kid, and somehow he's being turned into the victim by politicians, mainstream television broadcasters and pundits. This is insanity. And we have to stop it.
It's awful. It's awful. And it's like, truly, this one's so crazy to me because it's like we've almost become, I don't know, inured to cop unleashes fire on a Black man, and then we're going to have riots. We're going to have weeks of media coverage, putting it on a loop. It's going to be misrepresented, and there could even be retaliatory violence like we just saw. But this is so bizarre. This is, in this case, a Black man killed a white man, teenagers. That's what happened, and then was held to account in a criminal court of law by a jury and a judge and a whole trial. How is there retaliatory violence against whites? This is just bizarre, and it's something's definitely happening. And I know you're speaking generally, you don't speak about all Black people in this way, but there's definitely a collection that's had a very bizarre, outsized reaction to this verdict that is shining a light on an underbelly that is dark and disturbing.
I got one challenge for you. Try Whisper Flow one time, and I promise you'll understand why I haven't typed.
Let me say one last thing, and I'm sorry, but hey, look, the indifference to what happened to Austin Metcalf, that's just as sinful as anything else. And so the people that aren't shouting down the idiots. And so I don't want to paint a broad brush, and obviously there are Black people like myself, but Black culture in general has been so influenced by the depravity of hip hop that too many Black people are indifferent about what happened to Austin Metcalf. And that's just as bad as the people that are out seeking violence and harming white people, because it's that indifference that's kind of a passive, okay, well, I get why you did that. I get why Carmelo did that. I get why these women went out and attacked these other white women. The indifference bothers me that everybody isn't screaming at the top of their lungs, hey, there's a problem here. We can't continue to bathe our kids. Megan, you've got kids. Trust me, the music that you listen to while the child is in your womb, when the child is growing up, it affects their soul and their mentality. And we're letting kids listen to this depraved music.
And this is where the dads have got to come in. 54% of the kids do not have dads in their life.
Music. And the point I was making about the West Memphis 3 is that, like, white people saw this with heavy metal music and called it out in real time, and they got pushed back and all that other stuff, but they're aware, like, music has an influence that we don't fully understand. And if we're going to allow all this profanity, all this sex talk, and young kids know all the lyrics to this, don't be surprised that when they get to be teenagers, they're participating in teen takeovers and just doing violence and rioting for no reason. That their minds have been groomed.
No, Jason, you're not the only one saying that. We've had on Dr. Leonard Sachs, who is an expert in childhood psychiatry and child rearing. He's a worldwide recognized expert in children and their psychology and so on. And he has been making a similar point. I remember him using just an easy example to remember on our show, talking about how, because I said to him, Jason, I'm like, those of us who grew up in like the 70s and the 80s, we really had no parents. So, like, why are you so worried about what's on TV and radio? Because back then, we were raised by TV and radio, like parents didn't pay any attention to us back in those decades. And he said, it's different now because you put yourself in front of the TV or your kid in front of the TV and the radio without you there now. And they're hearing those kinds of messages that you just talked about, about like killing and violence and sex and disrespect for authority figures, including your parents. And the message, like sort of the babysitter, is very, very different than it was in the 70s when it was like the Brady Bunch and Little House on the Prairie.
Father knows
that
best.
Was the worst you could fall into. Yeah. He had a good point about it,
Yeah, the pop culture actually affirmed the values that you wanted to instill to some degree. Not all of it, but again, I grew up watching Dennis the Menace and Father Knows Best and the Brady Bunch. And
My Three Sons.
Those values were like those are good values that they're affirming in those shows. Now, all of pop culture is telling you, screw your parents, screw authority, change everything. You don't even have, just change is good. Change, we can believe. All the stuff Obama basically affirmed, that if you're changing something, that's a good thing. Well, hold on. What if you're Megyn Kelly and you're beautiful, and the change they want Megyn Kelly to do is, hey, overeat and become 200 pounds. Well, that's not good change. it's so all change isn't good. There's some things that were built into America that don't need to be changed. Period. End of story.
Forgive me for bringing up a tough topic, but I think it fits here, which is Uncle Jimmy was murdered. I can't believe this. He was your co-host for years. You guys came on this show. It was during the summer because I remembered I was down at the Jersey Shore when I was talking to you both.
What made you say, what would add to this?
For hundreds, if not thousands of years, the absence or presence of a dazzling smile has always been huge. From Marilyn Monroe to magazine cover girls, and even
we want to pretend like a single mother can do what two parents can do, and it's just not true. And my parents divorced when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I was raised primarily up until my senior year of high school in the home with my mother, but my dad was always involved. And then my senior year of high school, I lived with my dad. But I'm under no illusion that things would have been better had my parents stayed together, and that system produces better fruit than the single parent fruit. But we can't talk about it because you get called racist or a coon for talking about it, or you hate women, you're sexist or whatever. No, man, I believe the data. I believe the Bible, but I believe the data even more, that two parents do a better job than one parent.
Jonelle, I don't think so.
Create a better neighborhood and community than neighborhoods dominated.
Hey, watch your crazy. Let me speed up here a little bit, see if there's anything left
in this league. She maybe have a couple of friends, but everyone hates her. And
intimidating Caitlin Clark, trying to intimidate. There's a white girl on the team named.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark. That's a totally different deal there, man. Golly, white girl getting beat up in the WNBA. Yeah. Watch her crazy. Yeah. I know that you touched the subject about Wallace. What is it? The Wallace Pack unit. That's where Carmelo Anthony is, and that's the reason why I was asking you if you knew anything about it. And I didn't hear everything you said. I came in like maybe middle of it. If you want to come in and say something about the Pack unit, where he's at, I'd love to know details, because I hear it's one of the easier ones, but they don't have like air conditioning and shit like that, so it's kind of miserable to be in the summertime. But yes, it's exactly like the unit I worked at. Okay. So it's not a real bad unit, is it? Watch Her Crazy. It's kind of like a regular jail or something, right? They do have some AC. Okay. Well, okay. Good deal. So, that's, I wanted you guys to see that, a different, the same perspective as me from a black guy. You know what I mean? Because you're hearing about a lot of the lower class black people saying that Carmelo Anthony was defending himself, and he was not. That's a big lie. And it really pisses me off, the fact that they do think that, because, if me or you or somebody else walking down the street, what are they going to think? I mean, is that the mentality that they're going to have? It makes zero sense. It just doesn't. It's just not right. So, lots of old people. Okay, so you got a 19-year-old or 18-year-old with a whole bunch of old people. He's safe. He's good to go then. So he's protected. Homegrown has the same Taliban internet Jim does. Yeah. Oh shit. If you're talking about the way the picture is and shit, well, you guys weren't here, but I told the people that were here at first that I'm not going to renew with StreamYard, which is going to end, I think it's the 6th of July. I think it's the 6th. But I'm looking for a platform that I can use to stream to YouTube, because whenever I play music, I can't hear it right here, right now, live, So they've got me blocked on that, and I'm just going to get out of, if they're going to do that. So Homegrown has the same time. I already read that. Gen X says, so Homegrown, what does a lower class black person look like? I guess they look like every other black person in every other class. I don't know. Maybe they have slacking pants or something like that. Who knows? Yes, I'm looking for something else. Pat brought up, oh gosh, now I forget what the name of it was. Pat Pfeiffer told me, and I dropped the ball on that one. I'll figure it out though. So, it's just, I made a stream hoping that they would come over to my stream. I guess they don't want to talk about it or whatnot. That's fine. Restream. That's it. Restream. Is that the only one that you know of, Pat, or is there another one? Surely there's more than 2 platforms you can put on YouTube, right? Pants slacks. Oh shit. Dale, you're nuts, man. Love you like a brother, but man, you're nuts. So, I could play a song right now, but I can't hear it. I have to turn my TV on right here, and I can hear it. That's about it. So, either way, We got Sunday night coming up. Marissa, I guess a lot of you know, Marissa, she did a marathon today. You know, there was one time when I did a marathon, 24 hours. And man, I was shit-faced by the time that shit was over with. I'm telling you, I was shit-faced. It was, Bellevue was not the co-host. It was, God dang, I gotta look at my phone. She doesn't come on anymore. What was her name? Lacey H. Can't believe I even forgot her name. Swear I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting fucking old. Yeah, and I have talked to Lacey. Well, didn't talk to her. I texted her. And she has no wishes whatsoever to come back on YouTube. And she says that her life is so much happier, which I understand. I totally get it. Her life is so much happier since she's been off. And you know, there's different ways of looking at that. Is, you know, are you strong enough to handle it? You know, or is it just that bad to where, you know, YouTube's uncontrollable to where it just makes you unhappy? Like, you know, you go to bed at night, is it affecting your daily life? If it affects your daily life, you need to get off of YouTube, really. I mean, that's the real deal. If you can't get nothing done, you're preoccupied with YouTube, sure, you know. But in her case, I think there was too many arguments, too many fights. She was attacked too much. No, probably nobody would listen to her. But yeah, I do miss her. I miss her being on here. I don't expect her back. Don't expect her back. And Bellevue, I have not heard of. I keep saying I'm a messenger and stuff, but I'm afraid she's gonna, you know, I'm gonna get rejected and say, you know what? I'm not answering your text. No, but I'm sure she would. I just want to leave her alone. Bellevue needs some time to herself, you know. So, we'll let that be as it is. Watcher says, the other night, and then I saw her at Leanna's also. Oh, okay. What? Lacey was not on yesterday. Lacey H? No, she wasn't on. You're bullshitting. I know you, Dale. You're bullshitting. Lacey H was, yeah, whatever dog you did. Okay. Man. Wait a minute, are y'all being serious? Watcher, are you serious? The Watcher, if you say she was, I'm taking your word for it. You're not bullshit, but she was. Gen X says she was. She was. Huh. Wow. Okay. I guess she had a change of heart, you know. Good for her, you know. Fuck. Shit. Well, what else? What else? What was going on in these YouTube streets? Shit. Oh, man. Watcher, you're much better at this shit than I am, just talking. You know, I can sit here and I feel like I'm talking to myself, but, you know, I know I have an audience. Fuck, just keep on rolling. You're better at this than I am, I'll tell you that. But she just stopped in to say hello. I think she made a post on her community page also a few days ago, just saying hello. Yeah, rightfully so. She just wants to see how everybody's doing. I'm sure. You know, that's cool. That's cool. You go, Lacey. Shit, yeah. Um. Hmm. I don't like this blur screen shit. It's like my internet's not keeping up with it, right? I'm gonna see if I can change it real quick. Let's select none. How about that? Okay. Voila. All right. I will be celebrating my 57th birthday in a couple of months. Uh, if I live to be 60, I'll be shocked and happy and surprised. I remember I was in my 20s. I was like Ronnie Van Zant. If I live to be 30, I'll be shocked. Ronnie Van Sant told his dad, I don't think I'm gonna live to be 30. Why he said that, I don't know, but he sure as shit didn't. He died in a plane crash. I kind of feel the same way, but I, jinx myself, maybe using reverse psychology. I don't know. I don't know. Ain't no way I'm gonna retire. If I lived long enough to retire, I'm not retiring. Economy sucks. I mean, this shit fucking sucks, man. Everything's gone up. Property's gone up. Taxes gone up. Property taxes gone up. Not sales tax, but Belvia's all messed up. She's in pain still. I bet she is. Two knee replacements, shoulder replacement. Wipe the boogers off my camera. I don't have a camera. It's a laptop. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the fuzzy shit, right? Yeah. Okay, I got it. I'm catching on. You turn 50 in about a month. Watcher crazy? Yeah. Well, shit. Man, Watcher, we got to get together sometime. Shit. You got to make it happen. We're far away from each other, but not that far, Shit. Yeah. I pretty much slowed down. Shit. I don't mind kicking back, talking bullshit and everything else. Shit. It's crazy because I remember being younger and even in my 20s and 30s, you couldn't keep me in the house. I had to go non-stop. And people say that when you hit 50 or 40 that it's over the hill. When I was in my 40s, I kept going. To me, when you hit 50, that's over the hill. That's when I started going, yeah, our body's starting to talk to us a little bit here. But 40, back in the old day, 40 was over the hill. I remember very distinctly everybody talking about that. And I just don't feel that way. Didn't feel that way. Not me. So I hope you guys feel the same. I hope everybody, it's sad, man. There's a lot of, you think about it, there's not a lot of people that hit 40 years old. By the blessings of God, we're able to do that, Shit. Well, hell. So I try to do what I'm supposed to do. I go to work and I come home. You know, my wife she does not have to worry about any of that shit. And, she's pretty much accepted this YouTube stuff with me and everything because she'd rather me be on here than being at a bar, right? And that's the honest to goodness truth. And I'd rather be on here than be at a bar. Shit. This DWI shit's gotten serious, man. I mean, fuck. And that, I blame that on a lot of the population too. Back in the day, I was traveling with my mother and father. I'm the only kid, by the way, growing up. And we're going down I-10 through Louisiana. My father gets pulled over. I can't remember what it was for. He wasn't swerving or anything. But my dad had a bourbon and Coke in his lap, and so did my mom. And the cop or sheriff asked, what have you got in your drink? And my dad told him it's bourbon and Coke. He was like, well, how much have you had of it? And he's like, this is probably my third one. My dad's a pretty big guy. He's 6'1", 300 pounds and shit. I took after my mom. But the cop let him go. And no, it wasn't because he was white. It's just it wasn't a big thing back then. Sure, people did have wrecks, drinking and driving and shit. But the population back then was not as big as it is today either. Back then, you didn't hear about people driving on the wrong side of the fucking highway, interstate, jumping on the exit the wrong way and going against traffic and shit and hitting somebody head on. You hear about that shit almost every month in Dallas. It's absolutely insane. So, it's just like when you're in the military. One guy fucks up, everybody's got to pay for it. And that's what this is, There's a lot of us that actually can have a 12-pack, and I'm not trying to glorify drinking, okay? But there are people that can actually drink a 12-pack and drive just fucking fine. Especially, well, if you drink a lot, if this makes sense, if you drink a lot, you get used to it. Just kind of like the dope smoker, the pot smokers here on YouTube, they can smoke all the time and they don't laugh, but you get somebody who smoked the first time, such as myself, I'm laughing my fucking ass off, or I get the munchies and shit. They don't get that. They can just sit there and puff all day long because of their tolerance, Yeah, 70 in here, AGC, did you buy bots? Dale, I did not buy bots. Somebody must have bought them for me. Yeah, there ain't no fucking 71 motherfuckers in here. I'm sorry. Yeah, somebody bought bots for me. Appreciate it. Thank you, whoever. Appreciate it very much. I can check out Scott Free's channel, see what he's got. Shit, he's still got 39 people. So, yeah. There ain't no fucking way. There ain't no fucking way. Was that Jim Terry that did that shit? Jim Terry buy me bots. Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. 69 in chat, but there's only 3 people chatting, right? Yeah. Man. I remember that time when me and FOMO Nuts had that one chat going on, that live. There was it said 200 people in there. Now that could have been real. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was real, but they had nothing like that since then, so. A lot of peeps at home weather and all. It's been crazy hot too. Yeah, Marissa just got back from, Pat, she just got back from Broken Bow. Man, everybody's going to Broken Bow. I mean, it seems like it's like a really big thing now. It's like, you know, I guess the words got around about Broken Bow, you know. I know the last time I went to Broken Bow, I had to pick my son up out of jail because he got into a fight with some bouncers and shit. So, yeah. Yeah. I've never been on the lake at Broken Bow, but I would like to experience it. Shit, maybe that's what we all need to do, man. Just have a get together, and you know, their cabins are like freaking houses. You know what I mean? I mean, like nice fucking houses and shit. That's what we need to do. Is just everybody meet up. Watch her crazy. She'll do it. Let me see. Let me look that up. Broken Bow. Damn dogs. Shit. Oh, it's wanting me to schedule something. Fuck. Okay, let me bring this up. Here we go. We got a new little pup. It's a little Yorkie, and she's not even 3 months old, and she's just barking her ass off, man. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, maybe I can make the screen bigger. Get her, huh? So, $439 for 2 nights. Man, it's a nice fucking house, man. Little cabin. Look at that. Oh gosh, of course they got to make the screen small so where you can't see it. Fuck. There's a kitchen. Wait a minute, y'all can't see that, can you? Oh, because, yeah. Oh, fuck. I fucked this all up. But yeah, there's some nice ass cabins out there. Bay windows and all that kind of shit. $341 for 1 night. Holy shit. $233 for 1 night. Got a treehouse cabin. Wow. Okay. But yeah, it's part of what we should do. Yeah. I'm about to cut this off pretty soon. Just to let y'all know. I got to get up early in the morning. It's only 7 o'clock. Okay. I got to get up early in the morning, head to Tyler and go see my, I guess he's a gastrointestinal gastro doctor or whatever. You know, my esophagus and shit. So we're gonna be doing surgery pretty soon. So we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know. See what they come up with. It better not be. Oh, Crazy Brat, how you doing, huh? Good to see you. Those aren't the real numbers, Crazy Brat. I think somebody bought me bots or something. So, but Yeah, I'm gonna see the specialist tomorrow, and we're gonna dig more into as to what's going on. So we're gonna go from there. Huh. And then Tuesday I'll be going back to work. Another long week. Try to get as many hours as I can. My schedule's 10 hours a day. Sometimes I'll go over 3 or 4 hours to build up the overtime and rack up the money that way, you know. So that's I told the guys I was coming in today, then I messaged them and said I'm not gonna be able to make it. I just I need to lay back a little bit. So but look, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and call tonight. I've only been on for an hour and 11 minutes. I know it's not that long. Somebody's gonna come up later on or something, and I may jump on. God, it was a loud ass diesel. My wife's got food made, and I'm gonna respect that. And as soon as I get done, I'll probably lay down or pop up on another stream. Hell, who knows? With somebody else. So, Crazy Brad, it was good seeing you, sweet. Big hugs and kisses. Erica Suter, hugs and kisses to you. Big hugs. Hope you're doing well up there, sweet. Dale, good seeing you again. And some others that came in. Mike from Florida. Yep. So, y'all take care, and maybe we'll do this again, but I'm pretty sure it won't be on StreamYard. We'll see what options I do have as far as a browser. I'm not going to go back to StreamYard. Mine closes on the 6th. So everybody have a wonderful evening and a very good week, okay? Take care. Everybody, guys, love your wives.